Welcome everyone to this new session of Google Digital Garage training. Today we're going to have this session called Create Video for YouTube. My name is Francois and I'm one of the trainers for Google's free skills training program at Google Digital Garage. Just a bit about myself first, but I'm also going to introduce you to our fantastic moderator that you already saw in the chat. So, myself, I'm an experienced digital trainer and also a consultant. So I have been training and developing application on various continents, in fact, for the past 20 years. I love to create something from scratch. I realized that what I really like is to show people how it works. That's what led me to being a digital coach. I would now like to introduce you to Sarah. As I said, Sarah is on our chat, so please say hello in the chat. And I'm going to ask you a quick question so that we can all use the chat better. Just tell us where you're connecting from and how is your day today? What brought you to attend this webinar on Create Video for YouTube? A bit of housekeeping first, just before we start. I just want to make sure that things are going to work well for you. So if you are having trouble viewing this webinar, maybe it's a bit slow, you're not seeing the chat, just make sure that you just refresh. So refreshing the screen on your computer should usually fix things. Now you obviously want to chat with us and ask live questions. So you will need to have a YouTube account. So it's very simple to set it up or to log in if you have already a Google account. Just click on the box next to on the top right of your screen and you will sign in. We're going to also have questions time during this presentation. So we actually are going to have 3 pauses for questions. So best is to write them in the chat and I will be pausing and taking your question because Sarah is doing a great job at already typing in our communication device. So I will take the questions. So we can already say hello to a few people that have joined. Yes, thank you for telling where you're connecting from. That's amazing. So we are going to say hello to Ryan from Caribbean Island in Dominica. And hello to Nilanta, not sure where you are calling from, and someone called RDC, Mystery Users. So great to see your location. We love to have a very diverse and worldwide participant today. Okay, let's get started with Create Video for YouTube. So today we have a schedule of 3 steps like this. We're going to first look at finding your niche. So it means what are you passionate about and who is your audience? So you may already think that you have a product that is special, a service that is really unique. So let's define it together. Then we're going to look at how to make your content really engaging, maybe using some kind of planning and tools that we could suggest to use and give you a few tips along the way. And finally, of course, you may have lots of content, but how do you really get discovered? And how do you manage, how do you monitor that people are actually watching your videos? So we're going to look about all this, including potentially create money revenue on YouTube. So as I said in the chat, thank you for introducing where you are coming from. So I can see that we have people connecting from India, Rujuta, and Orion as well, yes, and Sri Lanka, loving it, and Dubai. Okay, so the next slide you will see may not be for people outside of the UK. However, if you are coming back to the UK at some point, all of you can benefit from one-on-one mentoring available from Google. So just go to this address, g.cu/UK mentoring, and you will be able to book some time with one of us, and we will help you to grow on. Okay, so let's get into the heart of the today. So YouTube is where people are watching. But let's think about this slide. Why is there an interest for us to be on YouTube and for all of you, maybe for your business, for your personal branding? Of course, all these numbers, you may be surprised or you may know them, but the main one I would say is to think that YouTube is actually the second largest search engine after Google. And that's amazing because we don't always think of it as a search engine. While people spend their days watching video because a video is much more powerful, much more instructive than you would be on just reading a blog, maybe. In only a few seconds, you'll learn things. So think of it now that it would be an amazing tool to be. 2 billion, of course, every month, and then 1 billion of hours watched every day. This is huge. So being present on YouTube gives you a voice and an opportunity to connect to audiences. We can see today, in fact, by having people from all over the world watching this presentation. So why don't you use it for your own good? So let's look at the mission statement that YouTube has put together. So they have 4 essential values of freedom. The first one is freedom of expression. So on YouTube, anybody can express themselves and share their story with the world. The idea that everyone has something important to say is really the basis of YouTube. So YouTube believes that people should be able to speak freely, share their opinion, foster open dialogue, and that creative freedom leads to new voices, formats, and possibilities. The next one is the freedom of information. Everybody have access, easy access from anywhere to information. And this video format is a powerful force for educating, right? For education, building understanding, and documenting the world event. Being something big or small, a passion that everybody has, or something very niche, you will find it on YouTube. Freedom of opportunity, anybody has the opportunity to share their passion, has the opportunity to watch people's passion, and people as well decide what is popular. They are not gatekeepers, they are really making the decision by themselves for what is on YouTube. Freedom to belong, then everybody should be able to find communities for support, for break down barrier, transcend barrier, and come together around shared interest and passion. So knowing all these 4 different, 4 essential values of freedom, the first step you may have to think now to get started on YouTube is to define the message of your video, because that will help you to find your niche. So finding our niche, what is a niche really? And how do we make sure that it could be relevant for someone like your audience? Well, identifying the foundation of your channel is going to help you to create content, and content that people are going to enjoy, going to be passionate about. You are passionate, so you can transcend this, and it's communicative. People will be really interested if you also show your passion. So the first one we want to look at is the what. What are you doing here? Why are you then creating content? Why should people care? Is it for work? Is it for fun? Is it to document your travel, your experience? And then who is your audience? Understanding who is watching would be really interesting for you to continue creating content. So let's start with the first one, which is the what. So we want to know about your passion. If I'm an audience watching a video, watching your channel, I need to understand what is the passion of this person. So one of the best things that YouTube is known for is to have a very engaging and growing community, no matter what passion people are showing over there. So it could be something about comedy, sports, fashion, gaming, food, simply everyday life, monitoring and reporting on everyday life. So through YouTube, you have the power to connect with large and diverse audience with the same passion as you. So determine your passion. What are your values and beliefs? What are you passionate about? What is your story? What do you have to tell the world about? And if you're not sure yet about what you want to put in your channel, well, try to search for content that you yourself enjoy. You enjoy watching, thinking about subjects that really excite you. That's a great place to start. If you can also search for what is trending, because trending on YouTube will tell you at a certain time what is actually what people are searching for. And we're going to see that a bit more in detail. One of the key ingredients to success is really the passion. You heard me saying it multiple times. So what are you passionate about? And what about what you're making it? Yeah. So the first step is to decide for you what your YouTube passion is going to be about, YouTube channel. Once you know that, then we can talk about the why. Why are you making this YouTube channel? And the why means, what is your goal? What is your final goal? So of course, it could be that you want to sell more product, you want to sell more service, but how can you translate that so that it's very clear to your audience and it just makes sense? They just see that very clearly in all of your videos and into the description of your video. So before you do anything, reflect on your channel's mission. Why did you join YouTube? To produce and to publish? What are you hoping to accomplish? What is your content about? Why are you doing this? So ask yourself, what is my aim for being there, for publishing videos? So for instance, if you see on the screen here, we have Mama Sherry on the left. I want to inspire people to love and cook soul food. So in her mission statement, she's very clear. She's saying, together with my family, foster children, friends, we will be sharing soul food recipes, cooking tricks, tips, hacks, all seasons we've loved. The next one is called Super Soul. So it could be about unboxing. So for instance, they are doing, it's all about adult nostalgic toy collectors. And what they do is that they unbox things so you don't have to. And they do that 7 days a week. So it's very clear they are going to create community of adult nostalgic 7 days a week, and they're unboxing things. And the last one is about cleaning cars. They have a passion for detailing world and detailing cleaning cars. And they have forums and they have YouTube video showcasing everything they are doing regarding this very niche topic. And there will be people who are also passionate about this. Which is why now I would really like you to think of your what and your why. So I'm going to ask you to go back to the chat again. I know that Sarah has been entertaining you, which is fantastic, and giving you lots and lots of links. So all these links, you can visit them and see how it works for you, getting inspiration. So as we said, you may have your passion already, or you may go and see how people are doing similar. So go to the chat and share with us, what is your what and what is your why? What is your passion and why are you on a YouTube channel? Why did you create one? And for instance, I'm going to give you example. So let's say I teach people guitar. So my why is about teaching guitar. My what is just music. What I'm doing is proposing and publishing information about music and passion about music. Maybe my what is politics and my why is about sparking debate, right? So I just talk about this. My what could be about makeup. So my why is showcasing my talent as a makeup artist. So go back to the chat and just let us know what is, compared to yourself, your activity, your personal branding, what is your what and your why. Once we have that, we need to move on and think about who is watching our video. So this is your audience. So in addition to knowing the what, knowing why, now you need to understand, like, okay, I have a story to tell. I am very clear about my niche and how I want to give it. I know why I'm here, but who is going to watch it? So think of these people. Think of the detail. Things like age, gender, marital status, household income, and of course, geographic, because there may be a difference from what you are proposing in different geography. But think a little bit deeper as well. So we are going to look at an example, but you could think of hobbies, music. What do they do when they go home? Do they just jump on YouTube and they watch a lot of videos about your passion? What do they do? Maybe they are doing sports, and maybe they are doing some puzzle activities that is linked to what you are going to publish on YouTube. Let's look at this example persona. So a persona is a representation of your ideal subscribers, your ideal watcher. So people watching your videos, maybe they relate to you. There's something that they like. It could be just you talking on the screen, but it could be this passion that you really have specially and you can't find in a different channel. So create your persona. So here we have Rohan. We know that he's around 27, right? We don't have to be precise, but you know that he's 27. So maybe your audience will be 25 to 35 to try to reach this this ideal subscriber. And then we know that they work. Maybe we know where they work, which industry, what is their passion as well, what is their liking, what do they do? Do they take the bus? Do they have a car and they drive every this car to go to their work? So you can go very, very deep in the persona. You can see that, for instance, family with married, not married, with kids has an impact on the way they're going to relate to your videos as well. So try to find a tool online as well to help you with personas. There are lots of them that will be really helpful because they ask you questions, things that you didn't think about, and they will bring you creating a persona. So now, as you can see, we have the what, we have the why, and now we went into the who is watching to bring you into audience and persona. So if we put all this together, now we can create content IDs, right? So that would be the next step. And I know that for some of you, you may straight away go into creating the content, but it would be good to pause and go through this one. So let's take this example. Now we have the foundation behind the channel. So example, we have the what. We know that the passion of the channel is going to look after cars. The why is definitely sharing knowledge and teach others who may not have the skills, may not have the experience that you have. And then the who is the person that you just saw previously with Rohan, the car enthusiast. So since we know exactly this persona, we will be able to write content thinking of Rohan. And yes, you can have more than one persona. This is quite normal as well, because you may have different type of people who may like different aspects of your channel. A great question can really help you identify your niche and give you a very clear idea of the content you want to create. You may come up with a variety of ideas and then use strategies in the next section so that you decide the right direction for you and your goals. So let's have a look if we have any questions, but otherwise, this is to also show you the break for questions, so you can expect that in the next steps. Okay, thank you so much for your participation. I can see that we have various goals, in fact, but it looks like most of you are quite clear of what you want to do in your channel. So that's really good. And I don't see any pressing questions right now. So I'm going to move on. And as I said, in around a few minutes, I would say 10, 15, then we have another break for questions. Okay. So let's go ahead now and look at content. So as I said, we have what, why, who. Now we are ready. We want to create content. So what do you think makes engaging YouTube content? So again, back to the chat, just tell us one kind of content that you really like, you really love watching on YouTube. Maybe it's your weekly, your daily activity. You need this kind of kick on YouTube. You need to finish your day watching some videos, because this will tell you why the video or the content that you're watching is actually engaging. So as you can see, there are so many ways of enjoying content, and you know that because you may be watching something different from a movie to a interview on YouTube, right? So we are all watching different things for different reasons. So I would love to see this in the chat. And the great thing about this is that there are simple and effective ways to get your audience to feel the same about your content. So we're going to look at this. How can we how plan our content so that it makes sense and it's quite appealing, it's quite engaging. So one way to see what is popular on YouTube is actually to view what is trending on the homepage. So if you are not sure, like, yeah, but if people going to like what I'm publishing, I don't know what I'm being interested into. Just have a look at the homepage and you will see that there is the trending videos. And now we want to create our content. So we need to research and plan. So as I said, homepage of YouTube will help you to see what is really engaging at the moment, what's trending. So do your research. It will help you to really have the foundation of your content, but also plan it. Plan it means that you may have to use a planner, like almost like a calendar, and decide when do you need to show such and such video. So you create it, but you may not have to follow and to publish everything the same day. So it will be easy to save your time when you have a good planner to save time along the way. So you may have an hour of plan can save you 10 hours of doing. And then we're going to look at the equipment. So your equipment needs to be ready for action. There are ways of making it quite simply, and you don't have to cause the earth. And finally, you go ahead and create your content. So once you're ready, you get out, give it a go, just shoot something, and you'll see that trial and error will work out better so that you don't wait until you have the perfect video. We'll see this in detail. And finally, you organize and edit. So edit, yes, means that you may have to do some video editing, but there are also lots of tools to do it very simply. Okay, let's start with research. So when we do our research, it means we are not sure. We're not sure what kind of content people are going to like first. And we have lots of opportunities or ideas that we want to publish. But first we need to see, is this going to be appealing? Is this going to be engaging people? Maybe they're not going to care exactly this week, but in 2 or 3 weeks, they may actually care because something is changing in the world. So try to find some inspiration, first of all, if you don't have any ideas. So tools like the homepage of Google will help you. But we also have Google Trend. Google Trend is a tool that we forget to use because we just think that people are just going to use the search. Google Trend is a tool that will tell you what people are searching right now. So its popularity for various search terms over a period of time, and is literally years. So you will find out, for instance, that unboxing any kind of product is very, very popular in November and December. So maybe you could have a channel where you decide that unboxing, you're going to start doing it in October. So you are just ahead of the curve. And then, of course, the next tool would be, if you already have a channel, especially, just use the YouTube search traffic, because it will allow you to search what people are viewing into your content. So you will see what has been popular already, so you can try to repeat similar content. Of course, not exactly the same, you don't duplicate videos, but you just find trending topic, and then you could publish more of this. The next tool is called YouTube Analytics. So integrated with YouTube Studio, you can see your analytics and you can monitor the performance of your channel. You'll find out what videos and content are going to work better, and it's really up-to-date metrics and reports. There's tons of data available in all these reports in YouTube Analytics. So you need to take a bit of time to understand them and measure the progress. We're going to look at this later in this session anyhow. Of course, all the points that are on the left, you can see. Listen to experts, listen to the market, analyze the news, the market news, so that you can see where you could be having an impact. And once you know what topic you want to talk about, well, what is the right type of content for you? And I would love, again, if you just tell me, like, have you started doing one of this type, maybe all of them, or you really privileged one of them? So maybe you have series already and you just keep doing series. Maybe you have regular short form video, and I'm going to explain you all of them. So we define kind of 4 different types. The one-off video, of course, is going to, you have a message you want to put out in the world, you want to have a quick, impactful hit. So it means that you post this and people are going to watch it and say, like, wow, okay, this is a one-off. We know there won't be a follow-up. Usually, you may do a follow-up, but only a few weeks or month later. And then it becomes a series, so you can see where we are leading to. But usually, one-off video is just something quite impactful. Then short form video, usually under 3 minutes. It's a great way if you plan to be always on channel. So for instance, the unboxing that they are doing every day, it's very likely that it's short videos because people are not going to watch hours of videos every day. Short videos are really impactful. Then you have the longer form videos. So we are talking about long podcasts, interviews, live stream, documentaries. It will be over 3 minutes, of course, and quite likely to be over half hour. Series. Series is interesting because it's something that is quite long, but we split it into chunks so that you explain part 1, part 2, part 3. It does mean that when you publish part 1, you may already tease the audience because they know that part 2 is going to come in the next week, maybe, or in the next days. So that's something quite interesting to tease and to your audience engaged. So you can always start small, of course, and we'll check later in the question time if some of you have used the small form straight away, or they went straight away into one-off video. You can start small, and then you see what goes on if people are interested, and then you develop and you go into a series, and then you go into a longer form. It really depends on what message you want to put out there. So, of course, how do you now create your content? Because you may spend a whole day doing the content and then you're going to schedule it, or you're going to publish the same day. It would be quite better to use a release schedule. When we consider a release schedule, you would think, how many videos do you want to release per week, per month, and day of the video? Of course, you may look at the trend again, because you may realize that some days are being watched, a type of video is being watched a lot more than another. So you may decide to publish it on a special day. But you may also decide to do linking. So you could link a video with another video. So for instance, you may have a teaser on Monday about this video that is going to be released on Thursday. So you really tease people by a very short video, and they know on Thursday you have the longer version of the video. You could have a special day, for instance, Tech Review Tuesday, 3 rhymes, and then Fun Fact Friday, 3 Fs. So you could really vary and get people engaged because they know that every day of the week there will be something special on this channel. And then, as I said, rotating the video is the technique when we say we post something on one day, and then we have a teaser, and we post the full version or the follow-up of the series the next days. Yeah. All right. So what type of video are we going to publish, and then what schedule? So in your YouTube studio, you will find out that it's quite simple to not press the publish right now, but to schedule it and then put it into a date in the future. So now a clear idea of what is going on into our video, we know what as well, and when we're going to release that, the structure, and how we can fit everything together. So the structure of a video, something we have to really bear in mind. A video is actually a story. So just like any story, we are always going to start with a beginning so that you hook people, you get their attention straight away within the first few seconds. And when they are interested in the content, they may stay. So then we have the middle where we're going to keep them entertained and engaged. So the middle is obviously the bread of your content. And then finally, at the end, we have a CTA, which is the call to action. What do you want them to do after they are by the end and at the closure of the video? Do you want them to, of course, subscribe? Do you want to comment? Maybe you want them to suggest topics of your next video. Maybe you want them to join your community. We will talk about community as well soon in YouTube. Just think of the city. Every video has something to say, hook, and then the content, but also what do you want them to do? So before you're filming, it would be better if you write down what you're going to say, right? So we have a bit of a plan. So writing your video. When you write your video and you think about what you're going to say, think of it as you are having a list of talking points. It's just remind yourself. So some people may use bullet lists. Some people may write absolutely everything they're saying, just like a script. It depends really on the type of the video and the complexity of it. So as I said, you could have a full script. That's absolutely fine. It's really up to you how you want to read it, how you want to talk over it. If it's bullet list, then you make your own speech. What the tip would be to speak directly to your audience. So it means you're going to say you, and you may have noticed that, of course, when I speak, I talk to you because you are live with me on this chat. However, even if I was recording it to YouTube on a offline video so that people can just play it later, I will still use you, right? Because it becomes more personal and people prefer to be spoken at so they can relate to you. They become a bit like friends, right? Then, of course, write it the way you say it. So don't pretend to be someone else. Don't pretend to be a politician if you are not, but be yourself. If you are an amazing orator and then you are a good politician speaker, just be yourself. That's fine. And of course, read your script out loud. So it means rehearse, become more natural, and then you will make it easy. You can rehearse, record yourself, and then realize something is not quite right. So do it again, and then repeat and rehearse. Always trial and error is going to work. One of the way, by the way, to write a good script for your video is actually using a storyboard. So storyboard is literally like a little cartoon or comic strip where you actually say what you're going to enter, which frame you're going to shoot, and what you're going to say at every frame. So once you have your story that you know you're going to talk about, yes, you can use a storyboard. So one of the tools that we're going to put in the chat is there are quite a few online, so I will see which one we are speaking, but it will allow you to have visual, so like little persona that you put on a board like this one on the left, and you can literally say, okay, this person is going to enter, is going to talk, just like you were going to shoot a movie. But with this, it means that you can decide who is going to be part of the hook. Is it going to be you talking? Is it going to be an animation? What is your CTA, your call to action? And all your visuals. So if you have special effects, if you have animation, you have transition, add it to your storyboard. If you want to bring some new sound, audio, some sound effect, explosion, etc., add it to the storyboard. Do you need a crew? Do you need some assistant to carry a microphone, to carry a light, to move objects? Do you need props? So do you need something behind your camera? You may have a different background. All this, put it into your planning, and it will make so much more sense and a lot more stress when you're about to shoot. So once you've done your research, you have your planning that is done, of course, the next step is to consider your equipment. And we are going to see the different type of equipment, but just start with what you have. You are all watching YouTube live with a computer. Maybe you're watching with a phone nowadays. A lot of people have mobile phone, right? And this mobile phone have an amazing quality. Okay, you don't have lightning? The best light to start with is actually natural lighting. So just stay next to a window, stay outdoor, and you will see that natural light is really effective for filming. However, it is true that you may have shadow on faces, on objects, on arms. So use some kind of light props. And video camera, we talked about this, yes. So you can use your mobile phone, you can use your computer as well. A lot of tablets have amazing camera, so just use what you have now. And then we're going to talk about video editing. There are lots of options to do that. Most people will start with what they have on their computer. Being iMovie, being Windows Movie Maker, you have lots of apps, and including free online apps as well. One of the tools is simply YouTube Studio. Within YouTube Studio, you have the ability to edit video, and it's getting better and better every month. And you can really crop your video, add some effects, and remove or increase the sound, the volume. And of course, if you want to go one step further, you start having more equipment. So you may have this little tripod. Why do we use a tripod? Because we don't want the camera to be shaky. So you leave it somewhere, it may be okay, but as long as you have some kind of bookshelf holding it. If not, just, yes, try to find a tripod, ask around. People have objects and material that they don't use. Lights is becoming much more affordable nowadays. LED light is available online very easily. Microphone. Why do we put a microphone, an external microphone, to this mobile phone that you can see? Because mobile phone were designed to pick up you speaking and very close to your phone. It does work if you go, like, I would say 1 or 2 meters away, but most likely it will stop getting your voice and it will take the whole surround sound. So think of having external microphone, maybe Bluetooth microphone, so you are wireless, or on cable. And then, as I said earlier, video editing. So you have lots of video editing software. At some point, you may realize that purchasing a license has additional options. And licenses are also getting cheaper because it's something that is more and more common, and there's a lot of competition. All right. We have now is our content is created. We have our special effect. We have our script. We have considering what you can see, but how it is seen. So sometimes we don't think about background. Sometimes we don't think about t-shirts and shirt and logo. I may have a logo which is not the one I wanted to reflect on my channel because maybe they are not sponsoring me. So I have to think about this. So think of what is around you, the space. Is there, like some laundry basket behind you? Be very careful about all this because people will pick up on this. If you have an hour video, they will watch you in the eye for the first few minutes, but after a while, people will watch around and realize that he could have tidied up their bedroom. So choose your space carefully and think about movement. So of course, I tend to move a lot too much, I would say, on camera. And I have to observe myself and think, okay, I'm in a small space. So think about all this. Recording your audio, of course, you can have additional audio apps that you make sure that your audio is better than the one you are thinking that your computer is getting. So your computer may be getting the audio, but some application will help you to make it better. So it means that you can have audio file in addition to your video, and you will later insert the audio. So when you have all the detail prior to filming, and now you're going to go shooting, it's going to make your process so much easier, and especially your editing process. Because when do we edit a video? Well, when do we start editing is when you are planning for it, before you even start. So when you are at the stage of scheduling or thinking of the content, this is where you should be thinking of your editing. So these are the 5 very basic steps for editing. First, you're going to import, organize your. So it means we've been out, we've been on location, we have already shot a lot of samples, and now we want to put everything together. So we need to import it, and maybe drag them left, right, so that the order is changing. Maybe you need to split it. So a lot of this editing software now, you can trim clips, you can delete clips entirely, you can also replace the sound. So as you can see, you add some effect, you add some transition between scenes, and you check your sound. If the volume is too low, very quickly you can increase the volume. You don't always have to re-record yourself. The software will help you to increase this bit of volume, maybe for a few minutes only, for that video. And then you check the colors. So depending on the lighting, depending where you were, you may have to bring a little bit more brightness. You may have to change the color so that you're very clear and your background, everything is reflecting really well. And once you have finished, then you export it. And finally, you go to YouTube and you import it. So it means that your export format has to be compatible with the YouTube format. However, nowadays, it takes a lot of different file types. And most software, most editing software will always, I would say 95%, have an option to say directly export to YouTube format. So that's quite simple, really. Right. Question time. How many YouTube channels can we create? So YouTube support is saying that you can have 100 channels, which should be quite enough as a business. Obviously, if this is not even the end, the maximum, I would suggest to just split into different accounts anyway, because that's huge. And if you take news accounts, so like proper newspaper, they may have different channel and different account per country. So 100 would be a good number. Can you have multiple niches for one channel? Asked by Lundy. Or should we create different channels to support each niche? Okay, so if your niche is very different from one another, I would totally suggest to have different channels. But if your niches with an S are similar, right? So maybe you are into collecting toy cars, and then another one is about little model of cars that you need to paint. It's quite similar, right? Because it will be about toy car in the end. So that will be one channel. However, if you want to talk about toy car and then you want to talk about the real car and cleaning the real car, maybe you have different channel. Again, there is a rule of thumb. It's just there isn't a golden rule, I would say. It's really a rule of thumb on depending on your content. All right, we are going to look at how you can be discovered. So remember that you have your content, you have your why, you have your passion, you know what you're doing here, you know your audience, but how do they find you? So we're going to look at keywords, then how to be searchable, adding tags if you haven't seen it on your YouTube studio, and then finally how to promote your video online. Keyword first. YouTube is the second biggest search engine, but it's behind Google as well. So it means that everything is driven by keyword. A well-written description with the right keyword is going to boost your views and your watch time. Of course, watch time is the duration people are going to watch your video, and then views is how many people are going to view the videos. So using popular term is going to get your video really found, and it means that you're going to optimize your video SEO. So just like any search, SEO is search engine optimization. YouTube is using the same concept. So it means that your existing keywords will help your video to get found. And yes, keywords are going to be used within your description and also with tags and keywords in your YouTube studio. Of course, you can use tools like Google Trends, but also Google Keyword Planner, which is now part of Google Ads. So you open Google Ads Keyword Planner and you can type certain keywords and it will give you a lot of other keywords related to it. Google Trend will tell you what is working, what is trendy for the time of year you are planning to publish your video. And of course, the autocomplete. So if you start typing a word, as you can see on the right-hand side, you will find suggestions as well. So title and description now. Be quite creative in your description, and also you could use your business name, but also your passion. So if you are making something about easy dessert recipe, that's your channel, that's what you want to show, and you are Mama Sherry over there, you can repeat it in the title. So people will search for meringue for dessert and it will come up as well. So reinforce what is really important within your video, and so that it will identify what you are showing. What you're showing, for instance, is that if you're doing unboxing, well, type unboxing. If you are doing reaction on a movie, like the last example, just type the word reaction. Right. And then label with brand of yours and series. So if your brand is within the title, that also helps if you are starting to be quite known for doing videos on reaction. Video tags now. Video tags is the little tag you have just under the video and over there, and just behind, before your description and title. So tag are really useful because people can click on it and they end up to a list of similar videos that are using the same tag. So imagine that if you tag something that is about car collection, people click on this and it will bring you to all the videos relating to car collection. So it will bring users to your own videos as well and your own channel. However, tags, of course, keep it simple. It means that you don't have super long name for tags because they will just appear as very, very long, since we won't do spaces over there. So just have shortcuts, short keywords as tags. And just use synonymous if you don't have multiple tags. Now we're going to talk about building your community. So as I said earlier, maybe one of your goal for YouTube is to have people in your tribe, people in your community getting together and discussing on the topic that you have just published. Maybe you want them to react. So as a call to action, you could say, go to community and participate in the forums. So YouTube has its own community area. You can integrate your channel with your website, social media, and you can bring life and dialogue within your YouTube. So use the community tab to interact directly with your subscribers. But use also the link that you have on the top here, so that you can have links to your social media over there. So if you bring, this is all free and part of your YouTube studio. If you bring links to all the places, people are more likely to click on it. Same thing, you are in your social media, bring people back to your YouTube. So here we have example of Instagram and Facebook, but you have link to your YouTube. So everything is going to connect. And it's a bit what we call the spider sense, right? The web is a spider. So when you link to one knot, you can go to the other one. You are not going to know if people are watching Instagram first and then they go to YouTube, but you will find out when you go to analytics. So understanding your users, this is really about analytics, and understanding users in analytics is all about how did they come to my video? How long did they stay there? What type of content are driving my viewers to the channel? What did they search maybe on YouTube? What creators of your audience they have affinity for? So maybe they are really a fan of similar passion, or maybe they are watching other channels and it links to yours. That would be interesting to see the correlation and how you can make your content more linked to one, to where they're coming from. So in the end, they will go to your channel directly, even omitting the one they come from. Maybe they're going to use special keywords. So analytics is really important. Look at this example. We have a peak in July 1st. Suddenly it peaked because there must have been some video publishing. But it would be interesting to see that actually this video was really important, was really engaging for my audience. So maybe there is something that I could republish similarly. And of course, measuring your success. So we have the analytics. We know where they're coming from. We have how long they stay, the duration, what they are interested into. But think of your goal. What was the goal initially? Was it that people just visit my video and my videos are being seen by thousands of people? Or is it that I want them to do an action at the end? If it's at the end of the video, I want to make sure that the duration is going to be constant and they're going to go until the end. So are they interested into this? So for instance, impression is every time a viewer come across your video, but just do a little thumbnail, that would be the number of impression. So it means they are searching for it, they see the thumbnail, and now maybe they're going to click through your video so that they can watch it. And then you have your CTR, your click-through rate. It means that the video is finally being heard and being watched. So your content is being watched. What is the percentage of your impression on YouTube is going to turn into real view, and effectively people are watching it? Because of course, if you have very small percentage of impression going into click-through, then it means you are not actually captivating people. Maybe the thumbnail is not that interesting. Maybe the title and the description of the video is not appealing. So you need to hook your viewers a bit better. And then once they are there, okay, they're watching the video, but how long are they staying? Are they just staying a few seconds, a few minutes? Are they really staying and watching for the whole duration? So once you know what the results are, you can really adapt and change your content. And even if you leave the original videos, you will be publishing new videos that are going to show a progression and an improved quality to it. So the trend is going to change. Don't be afraid to try something new. Maybe something that didn't work last month is going to be an amazing success in 2 months' time. All right. Pause for drink and questions. I hope now it's a bit clearer with how to produce and publish content on YouTube, how to have a plan and not just straight away dive into it. However, at the same time, we're telling you that be adventurous and try trial and error. You are going to publish a video. Some people may like it, some people may not like it. You cannot please everyone. The aim here is to be daring and to just go out there and start publishing. So we've seen a lot of things right now. So finding your niche by answering your passion is the first thing. You know what is your passion, and so trying to find what is the niche. And maybe like some of you were asking, maybe there are more than one niche. Fine. You could even be two different personas, two different people on YouTube. It can separate, but at least you have one or more niches. So the clear foundation is going to be that. Then once you have your niche by answering the what, why, who is watching, you go ahead and you create your engaging content, but you plan it, you research what is going to be interesting, and then be consistent. So it does mean that if you post every week, try to continue this rhythm of every week. It does mean that if you do a documentary style, maybe you're going to do documentary style. But if suddenly you have interview, you explain it, and then your audience is going to be more receptive to it. And then finally, you track your success. So you get discovered by using the right keyword, the right description, the right title, and then you check your analytics. And again, don't be afraid to try new things. That's how we learn. That's how we know if it's going to work, or you have to slightly twist it. Okay, I just saw a question, so I'm going to, yes, to come back to this. Do the question again. Let me check. It's because otherwise we will get out of our slightly YouTube subject. So we have a question from Ryan. Would this apply just YouTube or other places like TikTok? So of course, today we're talking about YouTube, but we are talking about videos, right? So if we talk about channel, if we talk about knowing your what, your why, your who, it's very clear that it's actually content. And we also provide a webinar on content marketing, understanding what you're going to publish out there. And this one, well, it doesn't have to be just video. So any content is very much valid to all we have said today. Fine, let's go back to this one because we have a few minutes. So everything is really valid. The what, why, who, the research and plan, right? So if you post something on TikTok, try to research if people are going to be interested. If someone has posted the same thing, but you're going to decide that if you film yourself in a yellow or pink background, that will make a really different impact. Next question we have, can we search Google Trends worldwide instead of the country we live? Absolutely, because that will allow you especially to compare country. So you may be in a Spanish speaking country, and you want to compare maybe Mexico trend to Spain trend on the same keyword. And you will see that actually people are not going to buy the same clothing, maybe, that you are talking about fashion at the same time of the year, because different region of the world. So absolutely, you can just really search worldwide. Okay, what are your next steps? So now that you have all this knowledge in YouTube, well, you need to continue having a lot of intake of digital marketing. So if you are a small business charity in the UK, like I mentioned earlier, you can have one-to-one mentoring available from Google. So use this address, gcu.co/UK mentoring, and you will be able to register. And this leads me to finishing slightly 3 minutes under. And so if you have more questions, we're going to be here in the chat. And otherwise, I wish you all a great end of day. I'm going to be off screen, but we are still live in the chat. Thank you so much for your participation today. It's always great to have an audience live on chat and we can answer the question. And have a great day. Thank you. Bye.